My name is Mark Fratto, and I'm the voice of the Washington Commanders at FedEx Field. You're listening to the Command This podcast with Steve, Dev, and Phil.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen. Let's get the roll-in intro music going. There we go. All right, it is October, November 2nd. It is Thursday. Time for our pre-game enemy intel live stream. Today, this is episode 231 for your boys. I'm Steve. I'm joined by my awesome co-host, Mr. Philip Credible, and Dev, who's in the hostel. He's in the hostel operating room. So we are Command This. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it.
That was the back. I thought the background was from Saw. Is it from Hostel?
It could be Saw. I don't know. Dev's a fan of all those, so I can't really tell.
I don't know. I just looked up dirty ass room.
All right. So without any further ado, to have us break in and welcome the Patriots tonight, we got our boy Deuce from Red Zone in the lab. Deuce, joining us. Deuce's channel is already down in the description, along with his website. His website and YouTube channel description is down in the link. So please go check it out and make yourself up to this channel. Dude, thanks for joining us, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, let me go ahead and bring these down a little bit. How you doing today, Deuce, on this fine Thursday evening?
Doing good, man. How y'all doing?
Yeah, we are good, man. It's we're gonna put you in the spotlight there, good sir. I'll be in the middle. There we go. All right, so we have the Patriots coming to town, as you all know, and we got a couple people in the chat here. Yam, thank you for tuning in. Says Yam, I can't wait for this one. Of course, I have to dip for class, but Deuce,
good dude, yeah.
That dude, Dev, I love you, my guy. But this new regime coming in 2024, who knows what second rounds will hold? That's right, Dev. Quit being a revisionist. And embrace the second round pick.
How many regimes have we had with bad second round picks, though?
Second round picks. Not the first. Not the first round pick. Not the 6th, 7th, and 8th round. Second round picks. What? Name a second round pick that's done shit. Diddly clue.
Hey, next year's a new year, man. Next year is a new year, Dev.
Next year's a new year. It's been every regime too. It's not just Ron. Second round picks been crap juice.
It has been
crap juice.
You're not wrong, man. You are not wrong. Okay, I can't
MJ
deny
BP
that.
Is what that is. A MJBP.
Yes.
I won't say the name, but I have to do Magic Johnson and a party.
Yeah. Yim says, gotta help all these other Commanders fans and podcasters that want us to chase another quarterback and say Sam is too questionable with just STFU. I think there's very few people that I think, at least in the content creation side, they're like, Sam's not the guy. There's some other naysayers out there, especially in the Twitter sphere. But Rivers Reese says, what's up, fellas? Thanks, Rivers, for joining. We appreciate you. First and foremost, I know this is kind of already overcome by events, but yes, this is episode 231. We're calling this I'm So Hoodie. As we know, Bill Belichick likes to rock that hoodie, little song pun. But there was rumors, Florio, if you know Florio, Mr. Pro Football Talk himself, just a miserable little man, said he was hearing rumors that Josh Harris was going to consider trading for Bill Belichick in the offseason. We've seen it happen before.
I told y'all, bro. Everything I said, I'm like Dale Stradamus, bro. Everything I said came to fruition. I said, look, man, guess what's going to happen? We're going to be mediocre enough to where we get like the 15th pick in the draft. They can't pick a guy. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be winning 6-7 games, bro.
We're talking about the coach, Dev. We're talking about Bill Belichick.
And I told you he's going to start over, and everybody's like, he's going to be the coach. No, man. They're gonna get a whole new guy. They're gonna have to Belichick. They're probably gonna have to Harbaugh. They're probably gonna go to Lincoln Riley. They're probably gonna have to Deion Sanders, bro. All of them will get a shot before EB gets one. I'm just letting y'all know, bro.
But
EB's got what 9 games left
in his audition
to audition for this job.
That's how he gets it if he's an intern.
So first and foremost, let's just put it out there that JP Finley immediately discredited this report. But Deuce, what's your thoughts on Belichick, man? Even if let's just say it was partially true.
I do it.
No, man. I don't want Belichick nowhere near this franchise. And you talking about second round picks? How about 1 through 7, Dev? And that's the dude that you want? Nah, you stay away from Belichick. Belichick has not really shown. Yeah, well, good. Like, because he hasn't really shown me anything. And I'm not just trying to say it's all about Tom Brady, but just the team that he's had. I mean, try Cam Newton, that didn't work. He's going back and forth with Zappy and Mac Jones, which you're gonna talk about later. So I don't know, man. Like I don't want Belichick. All his coaches are fire coaches that's getting paid from somewhere else, and he keeps them there to pay him on a penny on a dollar. So
right.
I'm good on Belichick.
What's the chances that Josh McDaniels comes back to the team to be the offensive?
Oh, he'll probably be there. He'll probably be there next week.
He brought Matt Patricia back, didn't he? Mr. Pencil.
Yep, brought everybody back.
Yeah, he brought everybody back. So you keep the family together.
Yeah,
even players. He sent them away, get paid, come back and pay.
Your NWO, man. Your NWO for life.
Yeah, it says we never have success with second round, but you got to have faith. Plus, like what Phil said, we can use those as trade bait. Got a lot of picks, man. A lot of picks for $90 million. It's a lot to go. But if Ron is fired,
you can trade. You can trade second. You can trade second and third, and maybe something in the following year. You got 2 seconds and 2/3 right now. You can package those in separate packages and end up with 3 first-round picks if you know how to maneuver.
Yam says, I know it's low-hanging fruit, but I still blame a lot of this year's poor performance on having a very poor draft and free agent moves, plus keeping Mr. Jack Del Rio more than anything else. That's right.
This is where Jack Del Rio is going to probably end up pissing us all off because the defense will suddenly play a lot better because now he actually has a scheme, not just rely on talent.
It's coming.
Which he does every single time.
It's coming.
2 sack, 2 hill, baby.
Casey 2 sack hill. Is that what you're gonna call?
Casey 2 sacks. Paul.
Before we go any further, I got my hoodie on. Deuce, let me see that hoodie real quick, man. Let me see that HTTC.
I've been meaning to pick up one of those.
The drip. Deuce, let's tell everyone where we can get that hoodie at, man.
Yeah, man. If you follow me on Twitter, it's pinned up in my bio, or you go to redzoneinthelab.com.
Yeah.
We actually just got the ski mask. So, Dev, I think that's right up your alley. So we got the HTCCT ski mask.
I do need a baklava, whatever they call those things.
Baklava,
What do y'all call
that's
it?
right. Baklava. It's a baklava.
Yeah, I got a nice one. I got one for Kitty Cat though, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Kitty Cat. Shotgun, the great one, our buddy Shotguns. Packers fans stuck in Chicago, 2-time Glock Doogie Award winner. Says hi, Dev. We love you. We love you, Shotgun.
He should get a third. He should get a third. We should have given him one on Monday because even though we lost, the Packers got stomped out by the Vikings.
And but he came right back and was like,
all day in the group chat.
We're just as bad as you guys. So he owned it. He owned it. He likes to dish it out very, very quickly, though. Okay, enough with Bill Belichick. The rumors about Bill Belichick coming to DC were immediately squashed. Even people like Dove and JP Askery spreading that toxic nonsense. But that's okay. I digress.
Dove, as per usual, spreading that kind of nonsense. JP was the one who shut it down.
No. I'm talking about JPA. Jordan.
Oh, JPA. I'm sorry. I thought you said JP.
Yeah.
JP Finley squashed that real quick.
Yeah. All right. So let's start talking about the 2023 Patriots. So Deuce, in your opinion, who are the 2023 Patriots, man? What kind of team do you think we're facing? What are we kind of up against here?
I mean, if we talking about outside of us, right? Because teams are not themselves when they play us, and that's bad for us. But what we've seen from them is I think they're a running team. I think we're going to see a lot of Rashawn Stevenson. I think Belichick is going to run a ball. It might be a lot of old school. Because I think Devontae Parker, he's in concussion protocol still, I believe. And I think a couple of their top wide receivers are out. I think we're going to see a lot of defense, and I think we're going to see a lot of rushing. But for this team in general, I don't know. Like, I don't know who they are. I don't know. Like, I don't know what Belichick is doing. I don't see no vision. I don't know, man. It seems like he's just riding the wave to me.
Right. Yeah, not quite dead man walking. Like if you haven't watched that press conference from yesterday, so go to Deuce's channel, watch the press conference live interaction and reaction to the press conference, because that shit was hilarious. I sat and watched the whole thing. I wasn't gonna, but I ended up staying for the whole thing because it was that funny. I was gonna check in, do my 10 minutes, but man, it was so funny. The players' reactions, Deron Payne and Deuce just kept flipping it, rewinding it. It was funny. So go check it out.
Appreciate that. Oof, man.
Superstar Two Hill had all the mics in his face, but
that's crazy, right?
if you listen to some of the reactions from Ron, he was stuttering. He just seemed like he was off his game. He was like, every question they asked him, he just kept saying, well, because Sam. Every question just kept going back to Sam. So I think he was prepped with these talking points to just talk about Sam, the future, money. Like, why did you trade Chase Young? And Monty said, well, we have a quarterback now, and the analytics tell us we have a quarterback. And like, he just kept vectoring back to Sam. So it was just a weird interaction. Usually he's a little more on his game. It just felt like he was, I don't know. He was just off. But go check it out.
You can make your own. To do that press conference either.
I'm telling you, I feel kind of dirty if they trot him out there. He has to take all that punishment and they fire him at the end of the season, which is, we'll see what happens. But
I feel bad for him because Ron is a guy who is a no drama kind of dude, which I like that about him.
Yeah.
But see, this is why I can't be an NFL head coach, because I would be very entertaining for fans of social media, because something's liable to pop out of my mouth. I would look at him like, so how do you feel the team's going to do moving forward from Chase Young and Montez? So I'm like, fuck you think we're going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say something like that. Like, we're going to go out here and play football. That's all we can do. What do you want us to do?
Pretty much what the player said.
Yeah. That's a dumb question, because it really is. But questions like that are dumb, and I hate reporters for it. Because what answer do you expect? Do you expect them to say, man, they trade Sweat and Young? Put me on the bench. I don't want to play anymore this season. Man.
Right.
What answer do you want?
It will piss me off because it will prove he can't.
Go ahead and try to kick some ass without them.
Yam says it'll piss me off because it'll prove he can't adjust to fit the players. He's just putting it on the field. Off the class. #fire Jack Del Rio. Salute Yam. Rockman 1033. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining us. Says he was avoiding the question. He was. He most certainly was. He was giving that sidestep, that little sidestep shuffle we like to do.
Problem is that Ron was a downhill runner at running back, so he didn't have much of a sidestep.
He was a linebacker, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a run stopping linebacker, so he just came right up the hole, or right around the edge.
Dev, what's your opinion, Dev, on the Patriots this year, man? How you feeling about the Patriots so far?
Just as bad as we are, worse actually. I still think they're probably worse than us, which means they'll beat us. But I think they're not that good. That's what I think about them. I don't really know anyone on the team. I'm trying to think. Malik Cunningham from Louisville. That's the only guy I know on the team that I care about. Mac Jones is, great value. Garoppolo, as I call him. I don't feel anything for him. It's a game. Who's gonna have this on TV?
Me.
I mean, everyone in the local area, us.
Like no one is a Washington or Patriots fan other than those guys who watches this game. I don't know.
There'll be plenty of people watching, man. I mean, not that there's implications, but I think people are going to be interested to see how the team performs.
I'm just here to see how.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a T-shirt of that, Deuce. I'm just here to see how.
Pretty much. Hey Phil, so what do you think about the Patriots, man? As I pull up their stats here real quick.
I'm looking at it right now. I mean, they're not even like an anomaly 2-6. It's like we're 3-5, but it's our offense is up to middle of the pack in terms of scoring overall for the season. The Patriots are next to worst in offense. They're 26th in defense in terms of points allowed. Their expected win-loss is 1.7 to 6.3. So they're actually, their wins-losses slightly above where they should be. They're bad. But I think that they're in the middle of trying to just reinvent the wheel in Boston. And that's a wheel that's been turning for a long time.
You know what? They still allowed less points than us, though.
Yeah, but they haven't scored more.
That's true. That is true. Touche.
That's what I'm looking at. I just think they're a team that's just trying to see, all right, we got to rebuild. Who's on this roster that we're going to keep moving forward? Who are we not? It's a big audition process for the next couple of years.
That's right. Overall, they're ranked 31st in points for. They scored at 118. They're ranked 26th in points allowed, 208. Their offense is in yardage gain is 26th in the NFL. Defense yardage allowed is 10th. So their defense isn't a slouch as far as yardage allowed. They have allowed a lot of scores. From a offensive perspective, they have 20 total touchdowns, 23 interceptions. So it looks like there's some turnover prone.
They ball hawk.
I'm sorry, 23rd, not 23 interceptions. They are 23rd ranked overall in interceptions with 8. For defense of interceptions, they've gotten 4.
Yeah, 4.
That's a rank of 26th. They've allowed 11 touchdowns through the air and 4 on the ground. And 7 on the ground. So Bill Belichick defensive teams usually pretty decent. Taking a look at who they beat so far. They lost to the Eagles 20-25. They lost to the Dolphins 17-24. They beat the Jets 15-10. That pillow fight. Lost to the Cowboys.
That was before Zach Wilson.
Figured it out.
Zach Wilson. Didn't he undefeated since he saw Travis Kelce's mom in the stadium?
No. They lost to the Cowboys 38-3. Lost to the Saints 34-0. Lost to the Raiders 21-17. They beat the Bills for 29-25, and they lost to the Dolphins 31-17.
The Bills okay. We got to throw the Bills kind of out the window because they've gone through a weird funk past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Look what they did against the Giants. They barely beat the Giants. They lost to the Patriots, who it's the only second time the Patriots have scored over 20 points this whole season.
Yeah.
So,
Deuce, what do you think about Mac Jones as a quarterback, man? He's sitting at 66.5%, 1,641 yards, 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. What do you think about him as a quarterback?
I don't care about none of them stats. I don't like the way he walks.
Walks? Carries himself? Or just legitimately?
His legitimate walk. At the draft, when he walked down the hallway, I knew right then and there I wasn't going to like him.
Damn,
and to this day,
he pulled out I hate the black on the back of Whoopi Goldberg's neck.
From that day, I knew I would not like Mac Jones. But as far as the player Mac Jones, he's very up and down. He's very, very up and down quarterback. One week you might think you have something. The next couple weeks, you don't have something. And I mean, how many times has Belichick actually benched him in a game since he's been with the Patriots? It's at an unprecedented rate. So. And this is one of them games where he may get benched. That's one of the things that I'm thinking that, we might see Zappy going into the fourth quarter because it's always something with Mac Jones. I never really looked highly at Mac Jones in college and in the NFL also. I'm not afraid at Mac Jones at all. But with our team, we might see Montana out there Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, there's no telling. There's no pass rush. Let's just see how many times this young man's been sacked. He's been sacked 16 times this year. So not as bad as Sam Howell, who was sacked, it was 40 coming into the game. He got sacked one time last week.
Yep.
That was the Andrew Wiley backbreaking sack. Yeah, so 41 times. So I don't know if his offensive line protects him or he just gets the ball away quickly. Not sure. But he's been sacked 16 times for a loss of 105 yards. All right. Going through the air, Ramondre Stevenson, just like Deuce said, he's their leading rusher. 307 yards. And old Ewok himself, Ezekiel Elliott, coming in right behind him with 260. Other than that, they have no other rushers. From a receiving perspective, Kendrick Bourne, who I believe is injured, so we might be lucky. Their running back is the second leading receiver on the team with 173 yards. I'm sorry, receptions for 25, 173. But for receptions, Hunter Henry, the tight end, I believe he came from LA Chargers, if I'm not mistaken, got 238 yards. Demario Douglas, 222. Ramondre Stevenson, running back, 173. So Mike Gesicki.
They also have Mike Gesicki in there.
Yeah, it came from Miami Dolphins. Was supposed to make a big splash, and really hasn't done a whole lot of anything. 19 receptions, 160 yards.
He's been playing behind Henry, but they do run quite a bit of two tight end sets too.
Yeah, which is the best. They have, Devontae Parker, like Deuce said, Juju Smith-Schuster, who's just been a complete and utter failure since he's left Pittsburgh, rightfully so, and failed. I don't know if he's a first-round pick, but failed Philly draft pick. Jalen Reagor is also struggling to find his way. He's got one reception for 11
Juju
yards.
was a second-round pick, just so you know.
Okay. Jalen Reagor, he was really high. They had high hopes for him in Philly, and it just didn't work out. Defensive-wise, not worried about kicking. Don't care about kicking because they have he named Tress Way. They have 4 interceptions right now. Oh, my goodness. Why does it keep doing that? 4 interceptions for their defense. Nothing crazy. Let's go for total sacks. 4, 3, 2. Matt Judon has 4. Christian Barmore
I think he's hurt.
Judon?
Yeah, I think he's hurt.
Good. In total, as a team, they have 15 sacks total. So that actually might work out in our favor.
That means that well, you know what? I was going to make my smart ass comment, but we only allowed 1 against Philly, so I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, but they probably going to play Gates and Sadiq Charles next week, so
completely undo all the good stuff that we did from last week.
Nah,
they'll probably have 8 sacks.
Yeah, I mean, knowing our luck, they probably will.
I thought you got jacked, man, or
whatever. Okay, let's look at the injury report here. So the injury report, like Deuce kind of alluded to a couple already, but what we're sitting at right now for New England, did not participate today. Devontae Parker, concussion protocol. Offensive tackle Trent Brown, has got an ankle knee. Defensive line Devon Godcho, and then offensive line Calvin Anderson, both just illnesses limited. Christian Barmore knee, Pharaoh Brown back. Linebacker Juwan Bentley, hammy. Linebacker Josh Uche, ankle, toe. A couple other limited as well. But for our boys, the Commanders, let's see what they're saying. Right now, did not participate was Curtis Samuel. He's got a toe. Ricky Stromberg, he's got a knee. Limited was Percy Butler. Full participation was Logan Thomas. I guess he was listed with a heel injury. So that's our injury report today. Any of those injuries concern y'all bros at all?
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that for us that Stromberg's injury is allowing us to get a good look at Chris Paul in the game.
Right.
And he did his job against Philly. Let's see if he can continue. Same with Larson, did his job against Philly and over Nick Gates. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Nick Gates, the player. I'm a fan of Nick Gates, the goon. Like, I like the fact that, if there's a little bit of a scrum on the field, if a fight starts breaking out, here comes Gates to escalate the shit out of it. You got to have guys like that on your team. The problem is Gates isn't good enough to be in the starting lineup. But, you hope that attitude maybe rubs off on a couple other players.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nonetheless, I'm waiting for some kind of an injury to happen to
Wiley.
To Wiley. I'm waiting for that because someone like I don't know.
Black Party. What about all the remember when these dudes are about to get traded, they always come down with this mysterious illness. Why can't we just get that with him, man? Mid-season, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, you want him to catch COVID, bro? Like, what you want? Herpes is not going to keep you out of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't know, like what you want to happen to this guy, man. We hope you get scurvy, Wally.
Scurvy.
You know, you get dysentery, bro.
Deuce, the only people that didn't participate is Curtis Samuel, Ricky Strauer, toe and knee. Percy Butler was limited. Other than that, we're looking pretty healthy coming into Sunday, man. I don't think these injuries are gonna mess with us at all, man. I think we'll be all right. As far as
for the season, we've been pretty healthy.
Not going good, man, which is crazy.
Yeah,
never happens that way.
I don't know, man. Like Chris Cornelius Lucas posted something on Instagram. I mean, some people don't know if y'all saw it, but he was like standing behind Howe, and he had a comment, and it said, "Keep him up or protect him up." Something he said. I forgot exactly what it was. So that kind of led to a little speculation. But if they do come out with him, I wouldn't be surprised because the media can't be there when they want to do their drills or whatever. So
you're saying this might mean that he was told he's not playing. It's going back to the old lineup. You think that's what the reading between the lines might have been?
No, I'm thinking like he may start.
No, they say his comment was him standing by Howell and says keep him up or something like that. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
See if you can find it.
Rivers Reese says, I hope Jamison Crowder is in for Curtis Samuel because he was killing it last week. I believe Jamison Crowder has beaten De'Ami Brown.
Not Curtis. Remember, Curtis was hurt.
Yeah. Didn't De'Ami Brown, I believe he posted something on Twitter. What did he say?
Y'all tripping.
Like, I'm tired of this or something. He said, I'm tired of this or something.
Oh, it says, make sure he good.
Yeah,
that's what it says. Make sure he good. Yeah.
So De'Ami Brown's a little salty that I think Crowder is taking his spotlight. De'Ami had plenty of opportunities, man. He dropped a lot of balls, and he is where he is.
I like that picture. I like that picture.
Yeah. Balls. There you go. Drop those. Spider Monkey 304. What's up, Spider Monkey? Says I think the trades will be an actual reality check, and the team will overall play better, kind of like how team wins after the coach is fired. Yeah. You never know. I mean, we didn't have Chase for almost all of 21. The defense was okay. I'm not comparing this, Dev. I know you don't like talking baseball, but when the Nationals traded away Bryce Harper, they went on to win the World Series eventually. So it might be a chemistry thing. Like Deuce can say this. He watched the press conference yesterday. The rumors leaking about Chase on the way out, that he was just kind of freelancing. Ron never said it wasn't true. He just said it shouldn't have been leaked. So maybe there's a cohesion thing there. I don't know. What's up, Glenn? What's up, Mr. Glenn said, Commanders fan, make sure you listen to Mr. Glenn's Wake and Bake Spaces. I believe it's every morning, Deuce. Am I correct? Every morning? I'm not sure.
Yep. 9:30.
There you go. 9:30 on Twitter Spaces. Go hit up my boy Glenn. Okay, so that's it for the injury report. I do want to do a quick audible, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. Let me get into the environment here very quickly. Did you guys see the Travis Kelce podcast, the Kelce brothers?
All right. I did not, because
it's only a minute.
Listen to what those two, the better.
Listen to what they say about Sam Howell.
They got up on us quick, and
can you hear the volume?
Well, it's gone out now.
Sam Howell, man, he's on. It was impressive. It was like methodical.
He can sling it, man. He can sling it. The fighting be enemies, man.
Yeah, but it was like typically, and I like when you're playing quarterbacks that aren't like well known, if you make them drive the field and do like short dink dunk passes, that's hard to continually do. Not for Sam Howell. He was very on point. He was executing it. He was taking some shots occasionally, but a lot of it was just, it felt like it was death by 1,000 slants. Like, I'm like, Jesus, what are we doing here? Can we get into something for a slant? But I'm sure it's a lot easier said than done. I don't know.
1,000%. Yeah.
All I do know is that Sam Howell has played 2 really good games against us. The Commanders have played 2 really good games offensively against us. I asked Eric Bieniemy after the game, I'm like, yo, brother, what are you what are you seeing, EB? Like, how do we stop this? Like, what are you doing to us? But they've kind of had our number, and this is the way divisional games are, you know.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's good to see somebody else objectively.
That's a West Coast offense supposed to do anyways. So Sam's doing what he's supposed to do, but he's doing it well. He's right. But that death by 1,000 cuts, that's what the short passing game is.
That's true. Quick pass game, run extension of the pass. But we just see a lot of the times these. EB said it today. I don't know if you heard his press conference. He goes, "I will get better. I am learning. I'm growing with this team. I promise you, I'll get the running backs more opportunities." I think that's what he said. I'm kind of paraphrasing it. I don't know, Deuce, if you heard it or not, but is that what he said?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that. Well, I saw. I'm trying to do these little reactions more, so I'm trying not to watch the actual pressers. But those that were there, I kind of quoted. That's what he said. And a lot of people was really, happy and excited that you see some type of mirror reflection that he's having with himself about him needing to get better and him needing to get these guys more running opportunities. So that was big.
Yeah. That's fair. Jimmy Lee Patterson from YouTube. Thank you for joining us live, man. You always catch you on the replay, but it says short passing is an extension of the run, Steve. Yes, that's what a true West Coast offense is. But earlier in the season, if you go back and look at the film reviews, when Sam was under duress, a lot of these pass plays were almost like 7-step drops, and the receivers were just still in their routes by 3 seconds. But it looks like it's getting better. So I don't know if just a factor of what Deuce says is EB's calling better plays, the protections are getting called, but I don't know, but it is getting better. And in the West Coast offense, you're right. The pass is an extension of the run. We saw Tom Brady do it for years. He barely turn around and hand the ball off. But so Deuce, we talked about, we looked at some of the stats, we looked at some of the rosters. Are there any particular matchups that you're looking to see that'll pique your interest here on Sunday?
Yeah, and I really want to see Onue. I think they're a right tackle.
Okay.
He's in a contract year, so I really want to see him because I think he's a great player, someone for us to kind of look forward to if he hits free agency. So I really want to see him play, be able to watch a full game with him, and I think it'll probably be JSW on that side and two here. I'm not sure about Trent Brown because I think he's still dealing with the injury. I know he played last week, but he hasn't practiced.
He didn't practice today. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something to watch also. But the real matchup I'm looking forward to is our running backs. And if, Payne and Allen can get some pressure because they're going to run a ton. And I think, the last 2 weeks, we've seen a lot more of the 4-3 defense, which we've seen literally 4 times all of last year. So I'm thinking we're going to see more of that this week also.
We've actually been seeing a lot of the 5-man front in the past 3 weeks. And that's how we've been holding teams and mitigating strong running attacks. So I agree with you on that. That's going to be a key one. I'm going to kind of go along the same route, but I want to say this. I like to see our defensive line against their offensive line. No Chase. No Tez, right?
Yeah.
I want to see the rotation we have now, not just at the end, but at tackle too, because now Mathis is back.
Second round pick, Dev.
So I want to see if we can get something to have a second round pick, just to make Dev happy that we did something. So I want to see what we do with Mathis and Ridgeway, mixing it up with Allen and Payne. I want to see what our ends are going to look like as well. I want to see what kind of rotation they use. I want to see who they have in on first down, second down, third down. Is there a consistency? Is there a pattern? Is it extremely situational? Is it just, all right, you look tired, get out, next guy in? I'm really interested to see. Is Efe Obada going to start, or is it going to be James Smith-Williams? Is it going to be Casey Toohill? I mean, who's going to get the majority of the snaps? The matchup is I want to see how we take this newly formed defensive line and match it up against the Patriots offensive line, which is admittedly not been great. So at least we can kind of cut our teeth and figure it out against a team that, doesn't have this overwhelmingly dominant offensive line.
Right.
But we've lost 2 dominant players on the outside when they're on. So, like I said, that's going to be the matchup to watch, is to see what rotations we put out there and how it does against their offensive line.
Yep. Glenn said Brady cut his teeth on that short game. That's right.
Yep.
Spider Monkey said real matchup is Ron versus Bill, so we can trade for him apparently. LOL, kidding.
Hey, right. But look, I do not want Bill to get fired after this game, because the last time we got a coach fired after the game, he ended up being
it was coach. Ron. Darius Geis got him fired. Geis got him fired. I still have my jersey.
It's gonna be a big name. It's gonna be a big name, man. It's not gonna be some offensive coordinator.
It ain't gonna be Ron though. It might not be Bill Belichick.
It might not be Belichick, but it's gonna be a name, dog. Name and place match is gone where that ain't happening.
Yeah. Glenn says he wants to see the rookies, Jones and Henry.
I want to see if they put Jamin Davis on the end sometimes on pass for show.
Mix them up. Send them.
I want to see JDR get all exotic now, and then everybody's going to lose their mind. Like the same thing I said in 2021 on this podcast when Chase got hurt. And all of a sudden, we're playing all these different looks on defense. I'm going to say the same thing. Where was this before?
Because he had to get creative.
Stay creative.
Yeah, well, that's why he's a dinosaur, man. That's why he's a dinosaur.
You can't be that much of a dinosaur if you can actually adjust, though. That's where I'm like, I hate putting that label on somebody unless you just like. If you just went out there with an old school 4-3 and occasionally a nickel package and that was it, I'd be like, yeah, he's a
dinosaur, man. He is.
I know. Are you defending he's not a dinosaur?
He does
not adjust.
That's just this weird thing where it's like, oh, somebody's over 40, dinosaur. First of all, everybody on this row up here, everybody on this row right here is over 40. We ain't dinosaurs. Well, Dev might be. But
okay, he's not creative. How about that?
No, he's not. Well, I don't know,
because he's a dinosaur,
and he doesn't adjust either. Like,
yeah. I mean, you could be moving. Look what they do with Michael Parsons.
Just when he's got less talent on the field. That's what's maddening.
Why didn't you ever see Chase or Montez line up inside? Why did you see your John Allen line up on the outside? Like, you never saw this. They rarely did stunts. They rarely blitzed. It was just line up 4, go. Every time, wash, rinse, repeat.
He was leaning on talent. That's not necessarily being a dinosaur. It's being lazy.
Okay, but it wasn't working. And then what? Okay, what's next? Nothing. I'm gonna continue to do the same thing.
That's what I'm lazy about. Because coaches since the beginning of eternity have been adjusting.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick adjusts
because he's a good coach.
He's a dinosaur.
Yeah, he is. We just don't need a 71-year-old coach as a head coach.
Yeah, I love a young coach, man. Like
we don't need another. Look, the last time we brought in the hot young, talent to be the head coach, it was Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden was not the hot young talent. Like
he was all.
He was seen that way. He was seen that way.
I thought it was against Cincinnati. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted him.
Oh, he had the Red Rocket putting up numbers, man.
Yeah.
Rivers Reese says,
we had good offenses with him, though. We had good offenses when he was here.
Good offenses with Sean McVay.
It don't matter why.
Suddenly, everything just didn't work.
Part of being coaching is delegating, bro.
Yeah. Spider Monkey says, who are the Patriots running back? They got Ramondre Stevenson. And I forget the other guy's name.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott, yeah. Mr. Ewok.
But don't Ty Montgomery play running back too? I don't know.
He occasionally they like to put him back there, kind of like Curtis. I think.
Patterson, I think.
Yeah. Jimmy has a question for Phil. Then we'll go on to the Dev. Is it possible that Sweat and Young are too big for their position? When maybe shorter and stout guys bend better, like the height thing?
Not defensive end. Most defensive ends are exactly their size. 6'3" is short for a defensive end in this league anymore. It used to be. Actually, I used to be. Look at And this is not new. Defensive ends generally have always been tall guys because you want the guys with the long arms. You want them to be able to, get to be able to create separation off of a lineman who's trying, engulf them. You want to have those long arms. Also, they're the guys who can get around and wrap up quarterbacks who try and escape the pocket. Dexter Manley was 6'5". Like I said, and take it back to the 80s, same thing. Dexter Manley was 6'5". Charles Mann was 6'6". Charles Mann was 6'6" and 270. He was heavy for a defensive end. Most of your defensive ends tend to be in that 6'3" at the short end to 6'6", 6'7" on the tall end. Was it JJ Watt 6? It was 6'6". Yeah. So it's they weren't too big for their position at all. They were definitely exactly the prototypical size for a defensive end.
They just don't have no bend.
Yeah,
they just didn't play with that. They played. They I don't know why they didn't do
because they couldn't probably.
Montez's arms are like, I don't even know what his wingspan, and it has to be like 7.
That's crazy. Yeah.
He swats balls. He swats balls down.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of people talk about Ben because of the whole because we all got to see the highlight films of Dwight Freeney in his prime and how he could almost get parallel with the ground, and now so everybody's got to have the bend. And
I don't think so because people don't even know who Dwight Freeney is.
That was never in people's vernacular until Dwight Freeney.
I think it's more so Von Miller in a Super Bowl. I think that's what people got. Dwight Freeney was more of a spin-off. These young people don't know Dwight Freeney.
The first time I remember common fans talking about bend, not coaches. I mean, I heard shit like that from coaches, but common fans talking about a defensive end and having that bend was Dwight Freeney because he used to get in deep. Go back and look at Dwight Freeney in his prime. He pretty much set that mold. He really did. I mean, that was the first time I remember seeing them talk about that on pregame shows and such. They said Freeney can get low. Von Miller, same thing. He can get low. He can get underneath anybody. That's what makes him very hard to stop. But you don't have if you can. It's an advantage to have, but there are ways to defend that. So you got to be able to do other things too. Chase Young could do certain things. For some reason, he just loved trying to get into a dude's chest.
Yeah, straight ahead.
Used to do that. Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah, high motor. Watch me get held and try real hard.
Who else used to bend it? Junior Gillette.
He did.
Yeah, he had a crazy.
He had the Euro.
Yep.
Yeah. He had the Euro. He's gone off his rocker since then. But Glenn says JDR is a brontosaurus. That's my close thing I have on the soundboard to dinosaur. Jay Lee says Manley was 6'3". Dev, do you have any matchups you're looking for here, man?
Basically, I want to see the new look defensive line. I want to kind of see against their offensive line. I want to kind of see what KJ and what's the other guy? Aaron.
Andre Jones.
Andre Jones, yeah. I want to see those guys, Casey too. I want to see them put Jamin on the edge sometimes. Hey, I like to see big fella from Alabama come in a little bit. What's the guy? Mathis. I want Mathis to come in and put Payne on the edge on the for show pass downs to see what's going on. Just to get a look. You know what I'm saying? Because Payne can play some DE, man. He's
be creative. That's it.
Yeah, let him go out there on the defensive end with Casey Hill and put Mathis and Allen in the tackles like on certain downs or something, man.
Right.
Just to get a look.
That's what I'm saying. Dad.
Let your boy from Michigan play some safety or play some linebacker and Jamin Davis come off the edge a little bit, man. Like, I mean, this is the chance to get some looks, man, because it's like again. Negro Dominance, I said this year's not really about winning. It's just
you're playing with house money.
The year is to see Hal. This was the whole year. It's been dedicated to seeing Hal play, bro. That's what it really is about. So while you're in it, get some of this talent out there and see what we have, because there's still a lot of free agents, man. We got that we got to fill or re-sign. And now's the chance to do it. And they're playing right now still meaningful games because 3 and 5. There's a lot of teams right there. This is right between 1.5 games out of the playoffs. It's not really unthinkable.
0-3 in the division.
It is 0-3. You got to win the division. You got to win the rest of the games, man. They're all important now. You got to win the rest of the games. You got to sweep the Cowboys, and you got to at least, you got to get the Giants. You got to get it. But it's not a really an unspeakable task. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we played without both of these. We played without both of these guys before. It's not like they've not both played at the end of seasons and stuff before, man. They played before.
Yeah, we got the gauntlet of the schedule coming up. You got the Rams, you got the Cowboys twice, you got the Giants again.
I'm not scared of two of those teams for sure.
I mean, you got the Niners. You got
not scared of them right now. They've lost 3
Patriots,
straight, man.
You got the Seahawks.
Not scared of them. Not scared of them.
I mean, dude, you say that, but we lost to the Bears.
Yeah. I'm not saying we're going to win them. I wasn't scared of the Bears either. We lost. I'm not saying we're going to win them. I'm saying there's nobody that's like, there's no way we're beating those guys.
Yeah,
like
there's not to be scared of them.
Yeah,
but
there's no way. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we beat some of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if we got ass kicked by them either. It's Washington.
For my matchups, I'm kind of with you. It's really the defensive line for me. So if you look at the efficiency of players who don't get opportunities and they just find in their limited opportunities, they perform. It's Tuhill, it's Ridgeway, and it's Obata. Going back to last year, Obata's been kind of injured. But when those guys saw playing time, man, they were very effective. Now, when given lots of playing time, can they continue to be effective? That's what's going to show whether or not those guys are really, 6th, 7th round and undrafted free agents, or did we really find something that we weren't expecting to look for? That's what I want to see.
That's where having a lot of depth. We talked about this before the season started. Having a lot of depth on a defensive line helps because these guys have been productive in spots.
But what's the net gain? We lost 2 starters. Mathis came off of the IR.
Mathis is also interior too. So
okay, but I mean, even for edge rushers though, we're down a -2. Did we sign anyone? Did we pick up anyone? Did anyone come up? So are we still at a net -2?
We'll probably gotta bring up Andre Jones and KJ Henry or
Spider Monkey's looking at Ron versus the chat. Yeah, that's pretty good. Facebook user, please go allow StreamYard.
That's me.
That's okay. Phil, you can't even follow directions, Phil. Spider Monkey said Forbes get more playing time, matchup to watch. He had 40 snaps last week after not having a lot of. I mean, he got benched in the previous game. I think he only played like 5 snaps the game before that. After that. So I don't know. For his own, we talked about this last show. Corey said this for his own mental health. Why did you put him on his abuser from the previous game? I don't know, Deuce. Where would you have put Where would you have put Forbes
on the bench
at that last Eagles game?
Yeah, I wouldn't have played. I mean, even so, like it was so confusing to me because when we was either in 4-3 when Kaliki Hudson went out there, he goes out. They bring in Danny Johnson. And through that whole process, for the majority of the game, BSJ was on AJ Brown for the majority of the game. Of course, sometimes you see Fuller on him, whatever. But then when they go to the dime package, when they take Mayo out, they bring in Forbes. So my whole thinking is, why are you not putting BSJ on him as you've done for the majority of the game? Because every time Forbes came in the game, AJ Brown went directly to his side, and he's ended up being one-on-one on AJ Brown. So I just didn't understand why Del Rio why he allowed. Look, he's probably point shaving, like
yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me.
A person, not a sector of coverage.
So we out here with like blue chips.
Yeah, right. Just move him. Like why? Like just wait till like you was doing the rest of the game and the regular in the 4-3 in the nickel or big nickel, whatever they want to call it. You have BSJ following him wherever he went. So why does it change now when you're in zone?
We don't, because they only have him follow to a certain extent. We don't have a corner that travels.
BSJ literally followed him the majority of the game, Phil. On both
more
sides.
Not, but I mean, that was about the most we've seen anybody do a follow, right? We normally don't.
Was that a lesson learned from the first
game? We've been doing it more often this week. I mean, this year though, like we've been doing it more often this year.
Yeah, because to cover Forbes, but at the same time, Forbes, he He's got you got to face your abuser at some point. You got to face them, whether it be in court or in this case on a football field. All right, and if you're like doing this every play where it's like no, switch off, don't go near AJ Brown, Forbes, don't go near him, and then you end up with BSJ on or what? I'm sorry, at least one play, we let Danny Johnson up there. Where he just
I don't know. It was either BSJ or Fuller.
At some point, Forbes does have to play on the guy, just if nothing else, just so he can, stare the man in the eye and say, "I'm still going to play you."
But at the same time, like the past 2 games, he hardly even played. So it's not just about him being AJ Brown or whatever he's been, but he's top 5 in the league. You want to start bringing him back all of a sudden, and every snap he gets, you want to put him up against AJ Brown do what? Prove a point?
Yeah, we didn't put him up there, but you gave him a couple shots at him, and realistically, Brown's catches on him were all in front of him. Brown did not get behind Forbes.
Yeah, because he was making sure that on that double move, remember that play?
Yeah, exactly.
On that double move?
He did a double move.
Yeah, and he came back to the ball. He was 7 yards off of him, 20 yards down the field. He wasn't ready for him yet. He wasn't ready.
You gotta get ready at some point. You are an NFL player. You're a first-round pick. He's got to take his chances and take his lumps.
Y'all doing all this to say the same thing. Ron better not be in charge of drafting shit next year if he's here, bro.
I still think Forbes could be good.
Anyone, bro. Yeah, I mean, he might be, but he ain't good now when you need him to be. You know what I'm saying? That's how it always is. They're never good when you draft them, bro. Draft somebody that's good. How about that? Let us draft. Hell, I can get 1 out of 7. I can get 1 out of 7, bro.
I mean, look, I wanted Deontay Banks for Jordan.
Yeah. That's what they should. They put a fan vote. Let the fans vote for the 2nd round pick every year.
Just let me do it. Because I wanted Deontay Banks or Joey Porter Jr. Of course, Joey Porter Jr.
I wanted Joey Porter Jr.
Spider Monkey said, "What's the odds of late rounders pick making a big impact? We can't keep relying on these guys to be starters. Got lucky with Cam. It's definitely the exception, not the rule. Sam's turning out to be one. Cam's one. We thought Derek Forrest was one.
Well, Derek Forrest is hurt.
Right. He's been hurt. But yeah, I'm not saying the rest of these guys, Obata, whoever's really going to do anything. We just need him to be serviceable. If you still want to have a shot at winning,
we don't need them. We don't need any one of them individually to go out there and put up some of those numbers. We need them as a collective.
Yeah,
we need them to be greater than the sum of their parts, and that's not that's not undoable.
Not undoable.
I can't think of a better word. That's not unachievable.
What does the Patriots defense do well, and what are their weaknesses? Deuce, I think you said that earlier.
Yeah.
Give up points. They do that really well.
They give up points.
They're probably rated higher than ours.
They don't give up a lot of yards.
Yeah.
Belichick defense is usually always sound. You can always count on his defense to be sound. I don't think they don't get a lot of turnovers. But they play sound football. We're not just going to go out there and just manhandle them. For the most part, they've been playing some good ball all year. Except they have a few blowouts too, but they're not very talented. And then with Matthew Judon not playing, I think that matters a lot too.
Statistically speaking, they are 10th overall in yards allowed, 17th against the pass, 9th against the run. So running the ball will probably be a little more difficult. Of course, Judon's going to be out. Then that helps with passing the game too, because he's leading them in sacks. So that's your leading pass rusher out. But
all right, if you're still with us, we're about to do Washington wins if. So put your comment in the chat. Deuce, Washington wins if.
We we don't put Forbes in the game
at all.
Yeah, and I think we win if we have a game plan sort of how like we had in the first half against Philadelphia. Yeah. I think we win because EB is not like he is who he is. He's going to pass the ball. He's going to be pass first. So the only thing we can get if we want rushes is to do short, quick stuff, which is extensions of the run game. That's as most as you're gonna get from EB.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm okay with it. I'm not even saying run more. How about like a little bit of situational running where, you know, 3rd and inches, you don't got to pass. 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, you don't got to pass. Ball forward.
Turn around, hand ball off.
That's it.
And he's showing us they can do it. Sam Howell went under center against the Falcons. He handed the ball off out of formation with C-Rock. So
he did a keeper too. He had a keeper.
That thing was ugly.
He did it against the Eagles. Yeah, he turned around and handed the ball off. That was some of the most effective running.
Jimmy said, "Not fair." AJ tortures everyone. He does. He has six straight games of 100+ yards, and
y'all remember that AJ versus McLaurin debate?
Yeah.
Well, that was before. Yeah, I remember that.
And that's another thing about Forbes against Forbes. People be saying like his weight is the reason why AJ. No, like what cornerback in the league is bullying AJ Brown?
He's like 223, 225. He's stout.
Like what route has BSJ lost because of his weight? None.
He's just a good receiver. Goes and gets it.
BSJ does that. I mean, he can physically match up better with an AJ Brown, just physically.
He still got bullied. He got mouthed on twice.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
we had someone on in our Facebook group argue with me. I think it was Purcell. He was like, "Oh, AJ Brown wasn't he hasn't been torching every game. Look at this game." He pulled up the second game of the season. The one game that AJ had off. And then
he still had 4 catches.
And I'm like, okay, did you count the next 6 games? 125, 130, 140, 110, 130, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. Like, come on, dude. He's bullying.
Commander killer, man.
Commander killer. Yeah. Dev.
He's everybody killer.
Washington wins if, Dev.
Oh man.
Spit it out.
Just play consistent defense, man. Don't give up big plays. I like the game plan against the Eagles at first, where it looked like we were playing kind of just like keep everything underneath. I like that style at first, man. Just don't allow any Johnson. Don't forget it's man-to-man defense and let the dude run behind you for a touchdown wide open. You know what I'm saying? Don't put Forbes on their best receiver. I mean, don't put Forbes on if Cunningham's at receiver. Don't put him on him either. Like, don't put him on anyone. Put him on the place kicker or something on the sideline. But yeah, other than that, I think we got a good shot at winning this game, man. Like I said, hey, I understand we don't have Sweat and Young, but this, Ron Rivera teams usually make a run somewhere, man. And it wouldn't surprise me, man. It's some tomfoolery happens, man.
Tomfoolery.
Shenanigans.
Washington wins if. You still in the chat? Put your comment in the chat. Washington wins if.
If Washington wins, if they do what they did in the Eagles game, get up early. Get up big early and force the Patriots to go one-dimensional. They can run the ball. They don't get big chunks of yards, but they can grind it out. And that hurts in the fourth quarter in the close games. Get up early, get up big, and protect the ball, and you should be able to win this game.
That's the situational running that I'm talking about with Eric BM. I'm not talking about because last game it was 74-26 pass to run ratio, but there was times towards the end of the first half, you could have ran the ball. A play is 40 seconds, right? The NFL clock is 40 seconds on an arm swing, not inbounds. But we chose to pass 2 times in a row, and we incompleted both passes. We essentially gave them 2 more timeouts. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about 50-50, just situational run when the time is right. You get up, you don't need – we ain't built like that. Like Brady, like Bill Belichick and Brady used to never let off the throttle. We aren't built like that. So once you're up, you got to do everything you can to stay up. For me, Washington wins if. Man, you guys pretty much already said it, but I'm just going to say if we can continue to go out and be dynamic in the offense, I'm not really worried about the Patriots offense. They're just really not that good. Their defense is what worries me more than anything because it's Bill Belichick, right? And He's a smart guy. Ron's a defensive-minded coach, although Jack Del Rio is kind of leading this team on defense. But if the offense can just be dynamic, just like we did in the Eagles game, exploit these vulnerabilities that they have, we should win. But moving on to predictions, Vegas doesn't think that. Vegas does not say. Vegas says we're not going to win. Before we go to predictions, looks like Vegas is giving the Patriots -3. So I guess you can say to pick them, it's a -3 at home. We are underdogs by 3. The over-under is 41 points. So this is a semi-relatively low predictive score for Vegas. So with that being said, Deuce, let's go to you. And just like we always do, if anyone can predict the score, just come in the winter. We'll get you a Commanders pullover. I just got my new Commanders Trapper hat. I left it upstairs. But if anyone predicts the score properly, we'll send you a Commanders beanie of your choice. So, Deuce, cool. With that being said, over-unders 41. Patriots are favored by 3 at home. What do you think what you predicting for this score?
Yeah, I think for most of our points, I think we go up. I think we score early. We've shown that we can score points, which is good this year compared to last year. So I think I had either 26-18 or 27-18. I can't remember which one I had, but it's one of those. So I think we put points up on the board for sure.
You want 27 or 26, man?
27. I'm sure
27. Okay,
27, 18.
All right. Deuce is going 27-18. We'll lock him in. Dev, what do you got for your score? By the way, that puts you well over the over.
Yep.
So,
because they don't believe we can score.
We did.
I think we were averaging 24. Were we averaging 24 in a year, something like that?
I'll tell you right now, the Patriots are averaging. They're allowing 26 a game, so that's just par for the course. For us, we are 3-5, so it's 8 games. So we're
averaging 21 a game right now.
21? Oh, I thought it was more than that. Okay.
Yeah,
no,
it's 21.3, 0.4.
Yeah,
but the Giants game and the Bills game.
The Giants game and the Bills game.
The Giants game. Yeah.
Right. Dev, what's your score prediction for the game on Sunday? You got to unmute.
Sorry about that. I'm going to go Washington 27, New England 17.
So you're one off a Deuce. So 27-17 Washington?
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Real quick, Jimmy said, I think this is from the last section. Commanders win because I think the new defensive line will be more gap disciplined. That's a good point. I think we tend to agree with you. Glenn says we keep Sam upright. Hashtag RITL for Red Zone in the Lab. Make sure you go check out Deuce and the crew, man. Rivers says 24-17 Washington wins. All right, I'm logging all these just for the record. Just a reminder, if you do get this right, we will send you a beanie of your choice. I did give Phil my signed Bryce. What was his name? Bryce
Love.
Bryce Love. Training camp.
Hey, it was so funny. They put out like the draft picks from 2019, and everyone had like a year beside their names from our draft because Terry's the only one here. Beside his name, the whole box was just blank. It ain't have one, nothing. It was just blank.
He played 0 games for us.
No.
He was supposed to be McCaffrey 2.0. He did everything Christian McCaffrey did in college at Stanford. Tore his ACL and never came to fruition. All right. I got Rivers. I got your prediction. Phil, what do you got?
I've been playing around with different numbers in my head. I'm going to say 24-13 Washington. Defense comes out because they got something to prove now. And I think New England's defense is good enough to not let us just go running away too hard on the points. But they're still allowing a lot of points. Our defense can, maybe force a couple turnovers, get some short field. So I'll say 24-13 Washington.
24-13 Washington. All right. Glenn says, side note, Harden has been traded and Philly won 2 in a row, 3 straight without him.
Hey, he traded Harden, Sweat, and Young in the same 24 hours.
I put this on
12
Twitter.
hours. Bro.
I put this on Twitter, and people were kind of knocking me. I said, Josh Harris gave us the blueprint, and no one paid attention. He moved Harden. It was like I think a total of like 6 people total, maybe 7. It was Oklahoma, it was Philadelphia, and I forget the third team, but other LA Clippers. It's about winning for him. So I don't know. Maybe it's there. Jimmy Lee Patterson, 24-10, the good guys. Oh man, that's a big gap, Jimmy. But I'm logging it. I'll take your word for it. 24-10 Washington, man. That's a big spread. 34, you're hitting the under. Okay, for me, I think it's going to be close. I think, we're excited. I think we're going to score some points, but I also think the defense is going to have some growing pains. I'm going to go 27-26 Washington. I think we will cover clearly, but I think it's going to be just like this team does.
We give up 26 points to the Patriots. Fold it up now.
Dude, we gave up 40 to the Bears.
Yeah. He ain't lying.
But that was
they
scored on the
Harris
same
got DJ Moore. Who the Patriots have?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Gillette Stadium. It's an away game. It's going to be cold. First cold game of the year. It's cold up there, man. So I don't know. I think it's going to be
cold
close.
up. Love it when people pick up when I'm laying down. Hold on.
Yeah. What?
All right. Sunday. It's going to be a high of 59.
50? What?
Yep.
It's been cold here in the DMV, man.
It's supposed to get warmer this weekend, dude. It's going to get near 70 this weekend.
Open the door at 5:30 in the morning. It's like, I don't want to go out.
Yeah, it's going to warm. It's going to warm up into the weekend. All across
59 in New England is good.
Oh, good times. Well, Deuce, really do want to thank you for joining us, man.
Most definitely.
Music sounds a little bit off. Glenn says maybe a sign to come for another Josh Harris on team. Hey, it could be. If it is, you know what? If we win, people are gonna be like, "See, I told you we didn't need him." And if we get our asses handed to us, people are gonna be like, "See, I told you we needed him." There's gonna be no happy medium this Sunday. Just get ready for it. Deuce, you know what I'm talking about. There's going to be no happy medium. It's going to be extreme one side, extreme the other side. I don't see a way where there's there's very few reasonable fans out there. I don't know.
I mean, the number of people who are more excited for Taylor Heineke playing in Atlanta than anything else.
I know. Hey, by the way, can we go back to the episode where someone on here said by week 7 he was starting quarterback?
I have to go back.
He's not starting. In fact, that was only one thing. Ritter's apparently starting this coming week.
No,
he was named Heineke.
Heineke named starter because I heard it was.
They did a flyer and everything.
I think I said week 6. I don't even know where we said it. But
I don't care as long as they happen before our game.
This is what Heineke does.
I wanted him to play against us because I wanted our defense to smash his face in. Put this to rest.
You know
what he does.
Nuts with a bust on these fanboys if you got to beat us, man.
Bruh, like it reminds me of Independence Day. You know how they say the aliens in Independence Day? The aliens in Independence Day, they go from planet to planet, sucking up all the natural resources, and then they move on. Taylor Heineke, he goes to your team, he takes your starting quarterback's job, and then he goes to the next team. Speaking of Atlanta, though, they were saying that because Montez got there, they asked him about extension. He's like, "Yeah, let's slow down a little bit. I just got here." He still had his jacket on, by the way. But I guess he has Atlanta ties, so people on Twitter were saying that maybe he wants to go back to that area. Okay, there you go. Mm-hmm. So went to college, Mississippi State, from that area, so I guess it makes sense.
Well, I mean, let's look at it this way. Things like that are why I'm glad we didn't get the whole. We'll get this pick, but if they re-sign, we'll get a higher pick. Because it's like, well, now we gotta trust that player is going to re-sign with them to get the pick we want. So that's why I was like, I'll take the second and the third we got for those two guys. We can do a lot with it, and take it from there.
I am not mad at all at that. Deuce, are you mad?
No, not at all.
You're good. All right.
I mean, you got to think about it with the sweat thing. I'm really surprised, but we didn't allow him to negotiate prior to the trade, right? So that was a boss move that we've probably never done. That's how you know, Dev, man, they have no business in these trade negotiations.
Are you talking about where he negotiate where he wants to go?
Yeah,
okay.
like
here.
No, like an extension. So they didn't allow him to talk with any teams about an extension if he was going to sign it. The Commanders didn't allow that. And with Chase, wasn't nobody giving up no third-round pick. No. It was all mid-rounds. But San Fran has, 3 of them because all the comp picks they have? So they say, hey, take one of these comp picks.
Yeah. We'll take it. We can package it up, do something special with it. But all right, real quick on the way out, let's tell everyone where we can find you at out on the social atmosphere.
Yeah, man. All the socials is Red Zone in the lab, just in the search bar or whatever. It'll come up wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, whatever.
That's right. Deuce is at every home game. Travels. Been to where you been so far? You been to Atlanta? Where else you been?
Denver. I'm thinking of
Denver, Atlanta.
How was Denver?
I loved it. It was awesome. The experience, the stadium was nice. The people was nice. It was good, man. It was good.
Jimmy says Dev was mad AF last podcast over this trade. Dev, why are you mad, man? You should be happy. Them dudes were gonna They were gonna walk away and we were gonna have nothing.
Oh, Dev was mad.
Yeah, you gave him to a dude that can play against us. A game we gotta win. And you could have got a 3rd-round comp pick. He's gonna make the Pro Bowl, bro. It's gonna happen. He's got 6 sacks, 6 games. He's about 3 or 4 more. He's at least gonna go. Like, even if it's a replacement, he's gonna be there, bro. Y'all need to stop lying to yourself. We could have got a same 3rd-round comp pick, dog. Instead of giving the San Fran just gonna if he's a Pro Bowler with San Fran and he walks, they're gonna get the comp pick.
Steve pointed this out. If we sign someone in the offseason of anything near comparable level, we don't get that comp pick.
And the formula is a secret. So let's just say they went off sacks, right? If we can sign someone that had more than 6.5 sacks, okay, you don't get a comp pick. That's how. The formula is secret, but that's how it works. There's no guarantee you get a comp pick. So in your own words, don't pass up for show pussy for some not for show pussy. And you're saying your own words, dude. Like, if you can guarantee a 3rd-round pick and a 2nd-round pick, hey.
But what I'm saying is, it still sucks, man. I don't like it. It stank. Okay. And he never once paid for drugs. Not even once.
Never. All right.
No, I don't. I didn't like it though. I ain't gonna lie. I hate
it. Deuce, thank you for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. Make sure you guys go check out Deuce. He's hosting a number of shows, also a number of Twitter Spaces. Out there, Twitter, the Spaces are a whole nother world. If you're into that stuff, I try to get on when I can. It's fun, even just to sit there and listen.
The hardest working man on Twitter.
It's
in the comments. We always got Marcus Edelin. He's the hardest working man on Facebook. Dude's the hardest working man on Twitter.
That's right.
Appreciate
that. Okay, we appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Monday for a little post game breakdown, and hopefully we will be one more victory in the books. That will have us at 4 and 5.
And I may be making a guest spot with old Big Doug. So if you want to hear me in a little bit of a different environment, sometime next week, we'll put it up there for y'all to know.
Then we'll be giving out Glock Dookies. Even if we win, Glock Dookies to give out. No one's safe.
Dookies are to be had.
Nobody's safe.
I'm going to already nominate Andrew Wiley.
Andrew Wiley is a quadruple Glock Dookie winner. He's so far as
quadruple was crazy.
He got a trio. Hey. He's like a 3-beater, dog. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the season, we will be doing the Moxies again. And that might be a category too. Most
Glock Dookies of the year player too.
I think I was on the Moxie show last year.
You were Deuce.
Welcome back on the new year. Welcome back to the awards. On the Moxies. It's an award show we give out every year. When do we do it? On the bye week, or when do we do that?
It was at the end of the season last year.
It was
December 5th.
Yeah,
so.
the Moxies. We're gonna get out dressed up and have an award show this year, man. We're gonna envelopes and shit.
Hold on. I got to get Mr. Glenn's chiming in. He said 28-14.
Oh, shit.
New England? I'm just kidding. Patriots. Great show, fellas. Good guys. 28-14. Okay, we appreciate you. Got you, Glenn.
What it do?
What it do? Wake and bake with Glenn. Okay, real quick, just to recap here. Deuce 28-20. This is for everyone picking Washington. 27-18 Deuce. 24-13 Phil. 27-17 Dev. 27-26 me. 24-10 Jimmy. 24-17 Rivers Reese. 28-14 Glenn. So I think
I gotta go watch the Loki.
Locked it. Yeah. Jimmy said over under award Glock Doogie goes to the tray.
Oh man, Glock Doogie, if he gets who has the record of Glock Doogie? It's either Shotguns or Wally. Hal has 2, I think, right? Or 1?
Hal has 1.
For getting sacked 9 times, I think.
Wiley has 3. Shotguns has 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an actual person?
Shotguns?
Yeah.
He's
a Packers fan. He lives in Chicago. He's a friend of the show. Oh, hold on. Shout out to Deuce, because here's why. In our Twitter group chat, we have a fantasy league on Sleeper. I was 7-0. I was whooping some booty, and along comes Deuce, who was, I was 8-0. Either way, I was undefeated. Deuce had only 1 loss. Deuce was second. I was first. And he defeated me last week. So tip of the cap to you, sir. Finally
appreciate
got that first L, and no better person to get it from than Deuce. So a little salty, but that's okay. I was trying to go undefeated.
That's all right. I got to take on Dev in the Addicts fantasy league. I get to take on Dev this week. So
he just never set his lineup. Dev sent me a trade in October that I didn't even see it. He wanted me to trade Logan Thomas for Darren Waller. You sent me that trade. Did you know that? Vet City Hoes?
No, I did. You didn't do it.
I didn't even see it till I was deleting my email earlier. So my bad. I'm sorry. I probably would have took you up on that.
Too late to apologize.
Yeah. Darren Waller's having issues. All right, let's get out of here.
My fantasy team actually took a hit because I had Kirk Cousins as my starting quarterback.
Jim V and Loki tonight.
My backup was Matthew Stafford, and I was just like, Urgh. So I got 2 quarterbacks, and one of them was Taylor Heineke.
I got Howland Fields.
You did what?
I got Howland Fields, and I played Hal that day. Fields went against us, lit our asses up.
Everybody in the Heineke have is going to lose this week because all of them is probably starting.
And they're all starting him. That's right. And watch him have a bad game.
Well, no. I'm starting. I had to start Kenny Pickett.
I cheer for the guy. I hope he does well.
I started last.
Some people are like, he's not on my team anymore.
What you say, Phil?
I don't cheer for him.
Yeah, he feels like the baby mama that sees us. Sees the nigga out with a better looking chick.
Feels the Grinch when it comes to Taylor. He does not want Taylor to be successful.
Eyelashes ain't real though.
Hey, here's Phil's. Phil's the prowler. Phil's the prowler. All right, we're getting out of here, guys. We'll see you Monday. Hopefully after a win. As always, thank you very much. Peace and hail.
Peace.
We out.